Okay, let's practice with a conditional that's slightly more complex. Still not too bad though. What we have here you might recognize from the flowcharting lecture a week or two ago. We have the Beetlejuice Hotel, a member comes in or a customer comes in and they may have some level of membership. Gold member, silver member, dung member I guess. And these memberships come with different discount rates. They have a certain number of nights they want to stay, and there's a certain room they select that has an associated rate. So the clerk is going to enter their membership level, number of nights, room rate, calculate, and depending on their membership, they'll come up with a different charge each time. Let's make these font sizes a bit more uniform here. 18. All right. So Alt F11. Go to our editor. Let's scroll down past our last example. Let's create a new sub for this, sub hotel. All right, let's go ahead and make a variable for each of our input and output variables, and we can use our legend here on the flowchart to help. So in addition to each of the inputs, we have a discount rate that's going to be determined by the membership level. So let's go ahead and create a variable for that one too, and then charge for room charge. All right. Dim m as string, this will be our membership level. N as, this is number of nights stayed, this will be an integer, there will be no partial nights. And then room rate as currency. Then our outputs, or our variables needed for processing are the discount rate. That will be a single because it's a decimal. And then also C for our total room charge, that'll be a currency. All right. Inputs, processing, outputs. Alright, inputs, we're going to be collecting these right off the page. So you should be able to do that by now. See if you can pause this video and collect the inputs. This will be m equals range, let's see, C9 it looks like, value. And then we'll have, let's see, C11, C10. This will be our number of nights, N, and our room rate. All right, F8 or Command-Shift-I on a Mac, and let's see if we're able to collect these appropriately. Pulled in M. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong cell, or wrong column, aren't I? Debug. Okay, what happened here is just trying to, instead of grabbing these values, I was grabbing these ones. Since membership was an M, that worked just fine, and it stored M right there. But since N is supposed to be an integer, it tried to make the letter N an integer, and it gave me an error. So let's go ahead and change these to D. Now F8, and that's why we debug as we go along, so we don't have surprises later on. Okay, pulled up the word dung, perfect. 2 for number of nights, room rate 100, perfect, end sub. Now that we've collected those, let's do some processing. So here's where our conditional is going to be a little bit more complex because we have multiple levels of membership, gold, silver, dung, or not a member at all. And a conditional only can evaluate a true false output or response. Well, that's okay, no problem. We'll have if m equals, first of all, let's just test for each one at a time. If m equals, the first level is gold, then, and then we'll have an else if. If it's not gold, else if m equals silver, then. Now there's still 2 more responses, so we can't use an else yet. We still need one more else if. Else if m equals dung, then. Now if it's not one of those 3, then they're not a member at all, right? Because those were the only 3 options. Therefore here I can use just the keyword else, but then I still need end if. So if they're not gold, silver, or dung, then else will catch anything else, their non-membership level, end if block. In here, instead of calculating their charge 4 different ways or 4 different times, I'm simply going to set discount rate equal to, in this case, it'll be 0.25. Or I could, instead of calculating the discount rate, I could calculate their charge rate and call it 0.75. So We'll leave it at discount rate. If it's silver, discount rate equals, I think it was 15%. If it's dung, discount rate, I forget, let's take a look, 5%. Okay, 0.05. Else, the discount rate will equal 0. Alright, so we've determined what the discount rate is. Now we just need to process the charge. So C is going to equal whatever the room rate is times the discount rate, or times 1 minus the discount rate. So if my cost is $100 and I'm a gold member, I'll only pay $75. So I need to take this $100 and multiply that by 1 minus the discount rate. But then I'm going to multiply all of that by number of nights. So I don't think I actually need this, but I'll put it in conceptually. N. There we go. So this is our discount that we get. This is our price per night we're paying times the number of nights. Let's check that out. F8 or Command Shift I. We've initialized our inputs. Okay, we're not gold, so it skips gold. We're not silver, so it skips silver. We are dung, so it goes inside and sets discount rate equal to 5%. It skips over that last else because one's already been evaluated as true. And now we calculate C, which is 190. Does that make sense? 5% discount, so it would be 95 per night times 2 nights. Yep, that's 190. Looks like we're good. Last step then is to output the results here onto cell D17. So no problem. Range D17 dot value equals whatever we came up with for charge. That's it. Let's change some of these values and try it out. Oh, also, let's set the calculate button. Let's assign the macro we just created, which is hotel. Okay. Let's change this to gold. Let's stay 4 nights, and let's get a $75 room. Calculate. Looks good. There's our if. What we knew this time is that we can have an if, else block, and this can just keep going with as many different qualitative options as there might be.